The conflict between Israel and Hamas escalated dramatically this week. Rockets rained down on Tel Aviv, marking a chilling new chapter in the ongoing conflict. This attack, unlike any seen before, penetrated deep into the heart of Israel. It signaled a dangerous turn, pushing the boundaries of the conflict further than ever before. One rocket landed perilously close to Ben Gurion Airport. This was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of even the most secure locations in Israel. This attack was not just about physical damage, it struck at the core of Israel's sense of security, leaving citizens and leaders alike deeply unsettled. The audacity of the attack sent shockwaves through Israel. It shattered any illusions of safety and forced a reassessment of the situation. This was no longer a conflict confined to the borders. It had reached the doorstep of Israel's heartland. An official spokesperson described the attack near Ben Gurion as a breach into the very heart of Israel. This statement underscored the gravity of the situation. It wasn't just a military target, it was a symbol of Israel's connection to the world. Targeting Ben Gurion Airport was a strategic move by Hamas. It aimed to cripple Israel's economy and spread fear far beyond its borders. The airport is a vital artery for Israel, connecting it to the global community. Disrupting this connection would have severe economic and psychological consequences. The attack on Ben Gurion was a clear message. It demonstrated Hamas's ability to strike at the heart of Israel's infrastructure. This capability raises serious concerns about the potential for future attacks on similarly sensitive targets. Adding to the tension, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, issued ominous threats against Israel. His words cast a long shadow over the region, raising fears of a wider conflict. Nasrallah's pronouncements are never taken lightly. They carry the weight of a powerful and well-armed organization. Nasrallah's warnings were particularly chilling in the context of Trump's potential return to power. He hinted at a more aggressive stance should Trump regain the presidency. This linkage between American politics and Middle Eastern conflict adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. The potential for Trump's return to the White House has sent ripples of anxiety through the region. His past policies and pronouncements have left many fearing a more unpredictable and potentially inflammatory approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Hezbollah framed its actions as a response to the deaths of Palestinians during the mourning period. This narrative resonated with its supporters, framing the rocket attacks as acts of retaliation rather than aggression. By linking their actions to the mourning period, Hezbollah sought to justify its actions and garner sympathy. Within Israel, the attacks, even if presented as retaliation by Hezbollah, ignited fear and anger. The public demanded a strong response from their leaders, pushing for decisive action against those responsible. The pressure on the Israeli government to act swiftly and decisively was immense. This pressure creates a dangerous dynamic, increasing the likelihood of escalation. The cycle of violence, fueled by grief, anger, and political pressure, seems tragically difficult to break. Section 5, New Faces, Uncertain Futures, Israel's Leadership in Transition. Adding to the complexity of the situation, Israel is currently navigating a period of significant political change. New leadership brings with it uncertainty and the potential for shifts in strategy. This transition comes at a critical juncture with the region on the brink. The new leadership faces immense pressure to respond effectively to the evolving security threats. They must balance the demands for strong action with the need to avoid further escalation. Finding this balance will be the defining challenge for Israel's new leaders. The eyes of the world are on Israel, watching how the new leadership will navigate this crisis. Their decisions will have far-reaching consequences not only for Israel but for the entire region. Section 6. The Trump Factor, a looming presence in Middle East politics. The shadow of former President Trump looms large over the current situation. His past policies and pronouncements continue to influence the dynamics of the conflict. Even in his absence, his presence is felt. Trump's close relationship with Netanyahu and his unwavering support for Israel had a profound impact on the region. His approach emboldened some actors while alienating others, contributing to the current state of instability. The possibility of Trump's return to power in the next election adds another layer of uncertainty. His unpredictable nature and his potential to disrupt the status quo make him a wild card in the Middle East's political deck. Section 7. Beyond the blast radius, the wider impact of the Ben Gurion attack. The attack on Ben Gurion Airport sent shockwaves far beyond its immediate blast radius. It sent a message to the world: nowhere in Israel is truly safe. This realization has the potential to impact tourism, investment, and international perceptions of Israel. The economic consequences could be significant. If people perceive Israel as unsafe, tourism, a vital industry, could suffer. Foreign investment, crucial for Israel's growth, might also dwindle as investors become wary of the risks. The attack also has implications for international relations. It puts pressure on world leaders to condemn the attacks and find ways to de-escalate the situation. The stakes are high and the world is watching closely. Section 8. Successes and failures, a military assessment of the rocket strikes. From a purely military standpoint, the rocket strikes revealed both successes and failures. On the one hand, the fact that rockets reached Tel Aviv, penetrating deep into Israel, demonstrates a concerning capability on the part of Hamas. This reach signifies a significant advancement in their arsenal and strategy. However, it's also crucial to note that the vast majority of the rockets were intercepted. Israeli defense systems, while not flawless, successfully neutralized a significant percentage of the threat. This success underscores the effectiveness of Israel's multi-layered defense strategy. The fact that only a small percentage of the rockets reached their intended targets should not be ignored. It highlights the effectiveness of Israel's investment in defensive technology and the skill of its military personnel. Section 9. Iron Dome's shortcomings. Why didn't American defenses hold up? Despite the overall success of Israel's defense systems, the fact that any rockets got through, particularly near Ben Gurion, raises serious questions. The Iron Dome, partially funded and developed with American technology, was supposed to provide an impenetrable shield. The attack exposed potential vulnerabilities in the Iron Dome system. Whether it was a matter of quantity, overwhelming the system with sheer numbers, or a new type of rocket that bypassed its defenses, the gaps in protection are a cause for concern. The United States, a major stakeholder in Israel's security, will be scrutinizing the performance of its technology. This incident could lead to a reassessment of the Iron Dome's capabilities and potential upgrades to address the exposed vulnerabilities. Section 10. Netanyahu's next move. Navigating a shifting political landscape. The recent attacks put immense pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu. As the leader of Israel, the responsibility to respond falls squarely on his shoulders. The world watches to see how he will navigate this complex and volatile situation. Netanyahu faces a delicate balancing act. He must project strength and resolve to reassure the Israeli public while also avoiding actions that could lead to a wider conflagration. The wrong move could have disastrous consequences. Adding to the pressure is the backdrop of political change. With new leadership comes a degree of uncertainty, and Netanyahu must carefully calibrate his actions to ensure both domestic and international support. The stakes are incredibly high. Section 11. Echoes of Trump will, his shadow, spark future conflicts. As the dust settles from this latest round of violence, the question lingers: will the shadow of Trump's influence continue to fuel conflict in the Middle East? His policies and pronouncements, even in his absence, continue to reverberate through the region. Trump's approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, often seen as biased towards Israel, alienated many Palestinians and their supporters. This alienation created fertile ground for resentment and extremism, contributing to the cycle of violence. The potential for Trump's return to power in the next election casts a long shadow over the region. His unpredictable nature and his past actions have left many fearing a resurgence of instability and conflict should he regain the White House.